Welcome back, family. LANCESCURV here, feeling real good. And I had some thoughts when I went out yesterday, and I would look into people's eyes when I was out and about. Not that I made them see me looking in their eyes, but I studied people, and I always do this with people when I'm in crowds, and I can pick up different emotions, different thoughts. I'm not a mind reader, but I can see if a person is distraught, if a person is angry, if a person is sad, or a person is lacking confidence, or they have something on their mind and they're not even really there at the moment. They're walking down the street, but their mind is somewhere else. It's like they're not even seeing other things. But one thing I noticed with people, how they look at other people in insecure ways. You know, I'm not saying everybody's insecure on a major level, but most people have insecurities that are unresolved. And you know, when you go through that period of adolescence, you know, you're kind of comparing yourself to other people and adults and see how you match up. You know, you have the young guy who might be a nerd, and he might be a little insecure because he's not the high school athlete. Or, you know, you might have a woman who is insecure about her looks. She could be brilliant, she could be smart, but she's looking at the other girls and doesn't feel up to par. Maybe not on a major level, but most of these things, they get taken care of over time when you realize how life is. And for many people, they're not. They go into their adult years holding on to these insecurities on a major level. And those are the people who you have problems with when you don't have those major insecurities. And things that are not perfect with you, it's like, it's okay. You learn to understand and, you know, maintain your self-worth, because it was, for many of us, built from the inside out. This is what I deal with. And I'm not saying I'm this super confident person who has no flaws. No. But when you have a basic level of confidence and self-worth from within, the people who don't have that self-worth, they notice it, and lots of times those end up being your enemies. See, self-worth is not something you hunt for in other people's eyes. It's not something you chase, nor is it a prize you earn from applause, likes, or approval. It comes from within. For once it is rooted deep, nothing can shake it loose. Real confidence is not loud. It's steady, silent, and unbreakable. And those people can sense that. And lots of times on your job, in your neighborhood, in your house of worship, you're there for other reasons, but you'll still have people who try to brush you the wrong way. You see, but when you know who you are, your steps become smoother. You don't move in desperation. People notice that. And you don't crumble when life challenges you. Confidence born inside a strong mind and spirit becomes armor that cannot be pierced. And so people say to themselves, and they don't maybe consciously say this, but it's like, how can this guy keep standing? If they know anything about you or the attacks that you've been under, you know, they'll say to themselves, I know I couldn't handle what this guy went through or this woman went through, you see. And that's what kind of irks them too, because it's like they start to feel less than. But they can build themselves from within, but they just don't, or don't know how to. I don't know, you know, but we really have to come away from looking for the external validation, because that's not always going to be there, you know. But for me, from an early age, I was taught that worth is not tied to things or people. I learned that discipline, understanding, and balance make the spirit powerful. My parents poured time into me, and that time became my foundation. And so people in this world sometimes will go out into life without having the proper training earlier on in the foundation, so they're like a ship without a rudder. They can't control the direction of where their life is going because they're emotional, they're insecure, they're reactive, and they're seeking validation from the outside as always that's going to help them or help steady them on their course. But they really have no course that they control because they're so reactive and peeking at other people and comparing themselves with other people and maybe even competing with other people for something that is not going to get them to where they have to go from the inside. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's a strange thing, and the way they come at you. You know, with a balanced emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical life, I never felt the need to prove myself to anyone. I didn't grow up needing validation. I grew up knowing who I was, what I was, and why I was. Today, I see how many people tie their worth to outside forces. They crumble when others don't approve, and they break when they aren't praised. Their self-worth is an empty tank. Mine was filled earlier, and it continues to overflow. And that's my lane. I'm not out here trying to prove anything to anybody. You know, you stack up a deck of cards, somebody knocks it over, you just keep stacking. Because that thing from within doesn't depend on the external, right? Self-worth is not a trophy. It's a blueprint written into your character from the inside. You either build it patiently or you chase it your entire life through people, things, and shallow applause. When you know your worth from within, your confidence becomes natural. You don't have to force it. You don't have to advertise it. You simply live it. You don't have to dominate conversations or talk louder than the other person, because that kind of character, that kind of way of moving screams insecurity. See, many adults today struggle with identity because their value was never nurtured. And you got to wonder what kind of childhood that these people had. They learn to measure themselves by outside markers, cars, titles, partners, social circles, and the approval of those who don't even matter. It's amazing. Their foundation is glass, easily cracked and shattered. So when they meet someone whose self-worth is strong, they feel threatened by what they never learned to develop, and it hits them to the core. It's crazy. Your inner strength becomes a mirror that exposes other people's insecurities. It's not your job to shrink so they can feel tall. It's not your role to soften your confidence just because they don't possess their own. Real self-worth does not apologize for existing. I don't move in life looking for praise. If someone supports my work, I appreciate it. If someone admires my character, I embrace it. But admiration is not the fuel for my momentum. My drive comes from purpose. My discipline comes from upbringing. My self-certainty comes from internal training, not external approval. When your self-worth is anchored, your emotions don't swing like a loose door in the wind. You don't get lost when people reject you. You don't break when you stand alone. You walk with a centered mind because you know that your value was not assigned by people. It was built by your own spirit, molded through time, balance, and knowledge. And this is what most people don't understand. And when you operate with a strong personal value system, you attract peace instead of chaos. You draw growth instead of distraction. You protect your energy instead of handing it over for free. You stop giving other people the power to stamp your soul with their insecurities. Self-worth is a lifelong foundation, not a momentary feeling. It is the constant reminder that you are whole without applause, powerful without permission, and meaningful without approval. When you stand rooted in your own internal truth, the noise of others cannot shake you. It can only reveal who was never steady enough to stand beside you in the first place. So keep building, keep strengthening the core of who you are. The world rewards those who know themselves more than those who chase themselves. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not something someone else decides. It's the quiet force that guides your actions, decisions, relationships, and path. Walk with your head high and your soul grounded. When your value is built from within, no outside force can break what you have become. And it's almost as though people want you to apologize for that. You know, they'll call you cocky. They'll call you self-centered. They'll even say you don't like them. How could I not like you because of my inner confidence? I'm not caught up in myself. I'm just in balance. But my life is very effective the way it is. And I guard it. I guard it hard. I don't let people try to make me unravel. And that's what they do. They see you as a target because they don't like what they see because they don't see it within themselves. And pretty much that's what I was feeling yesterday when I was walking around. I said, hey, I gotta come and just speak these words and get it off my chest. There's some other things knocking on my subconscious and conscious mind to get out. So another short one here, but yeah. Never apologize for your confidence. And really another thing too is don't try to act confident when you're not. Just don't play that game. If you're not confident, build it the right way, from within. Because when you have it from within and not any external title, status, material items, you're unshakable, you know, and there are things that you have to know. There are things you have to think from within, right? I have some sayings that I say to myself. I'm going to put them on t-shirts eventually, but you have to defend your confidence. You have to defend your sense of self-worth, right? A couple of my sayings. I don't beg for worth. Your insecurity isn't my problem. Built stronger than your doubts. Unbothered, untouched, unbreakable. Too solid to be shaken. Respect me or move aside. Confidence that intimidates cowards. Can't break what you didn't build. Unshaken by weak opinions. I stand, you tremble. See, that may sound cocky, what I just said, but in this world, the way you're attacked, you have to treat the time that you're about to walk out your door like you're doing a ring walk for a heavyweight championship fight. Do you think that a boxer, a fighter who got to that level to get a title shot, no matter what the weight division it is in, is going to go down and apologize? Those guys have to know they can win, or they know they will win. There's only one who's going to win, and it may not be that one, but you can't go into the fight not thinking that. And so you already have to have your mind psyched up. And not really you have to psych it up much when you have true confidence, but you have to put an extra layer of affirmations as you walk out into this demon-infested world. You have to, because the attack is on. Not to walk around paranoid, but you know on a spiritual level, in your confidence, and you have your sense of value and self-worth from within, that you are a target, because the way this world and these weird energies that these people have within them see your light, it may take a little time, but they're coming for you, and you can't have that. You better be ready for them. It's like a person who's coming to burglarize your home, and you're sitting in the living room with a machine gun waiting for them in the dark. and you just put the lights on and say, welcome. Watch, when they see that, they'll run. But that's how people do. We used to have more people in our community who would work hard to build you up. We always had haters, but we had more positivity, and because of what's put out there in the media, what's put out there in the movies, what's put out there in the music, what's put out there in social media, we are poisoned greatly. And everything is about what the world is doing, what's trending. Let me follow what's trending. Oh, that's the new outfit that this particular celebrity, had on. That's trending. I gotta get it. Oh, that's the new hairstyle. I gotta wear it. Why can't you find out who you are and be yourself and be confident in who you are? And this is what we have to teach the children. We have parents that buy them everything that's out there. Set your own style. There are little things you're gonna do because they don't understand, but don't let them go off the deep end by letting them just flow with the world, because once they get that phone in their hand, it's a wrap. It's pretty much gonna ruin their mind. You have to set their mind so strong in a certain foundation that anything less than what's building them up will not be good enough to grab their attention, right? That's very, very important. And most of us didn't have that upbringing, but I'm not bragging, I did. They trained me for life, and I didn't know it. The conversations around the dinner table, the conversations while driving to the market or just going on a fishing trip and different things, the conversations that I would overhear them say or have with friends and other family members were always positive, always empowering, and they never allowed me to even fall into anything remotely close that wouldn't build me up. So still, I took bumps and bruises and learning how to psychologically walk through this world. You're a fighter, you're knocking everybody out, you're outpointing them, you're winning all these fights, but in those fights, you're going to take some blows. You're going to feel it, but you'll make adjustments if you're brought up right. So for a lot of these adults, it's like a write-off, an insurance company write-off when a vehicle is totaled. A lot of them are still functioning, they're still going to work, and they're still doing and taking care of their family, whatever, but that's pretty much all they're going to do. You understand? The greatness is not going to come out. And they feel that the mediocre is great. Well, fine, but don't tear down my aspirations, my dreams, or try to tear down who I am at the core, because you're wasting your time. And on that note, I want to produce more today. I want to enjoy this day. Woke up this morning, got right out on the balcony, stripped down, and let the sun have its way. And I'm charged up, and I love that. You got to have your routine. You have to know what it is that you want to do, what you're going to bring to the world. What am I going to bring to the world today? Even if it's just maintaining yourself, protecting yourself, giving yourself to the people who matter in your life. It doesn't have to be any grand display of great speeches or anything, but to influence and undergird the people that are coming after you, or that, and when I say coming after you, not coming after you, I mean like your children who are growing up after you. That's what I meant. And the people who you need to support, the elders, the ones who need you, who brought you wisdom, support those who bring value to your life and bring value to their lives. But these other people who want you to seek validation from them, let them wait, because it shouldn't ever happen. It won't ever happen in my life, because I already know my momentum has been going for a long time and it can't be stopped. Listen, how can you drive an 18-wheeler and you're going at 100 miles an hour? Do you think you can just mash the brake and stop within 20 feet? No, you have momentum. Just make sure that your momentum is powerful, righteous, and something that's going to ascend you higher. Better today than you were yesterday, and better tomorrow than you are today. I love that thought, and nothing at all is going to stop me from that in my personal mission. Whether I get applause or not, that's okay, because it's building something up on the inside, and that's how we should think. Anyway, much love to you all. I'm going to take another little break here. A couple of things I have to do, a couple of phone calls I gotta make, and I'll be back on it today. It's a beautiful day out here in West Africa. It's peaceful, it's quiet, and life is glorious, life is good. Thank you so much. Peace.